let's say that you're 59, 60, you're close to retirement age. You have $5 million in retirement cash. You're feeling happy about yourself.
Right.
What you don't know is that in a year from now, COVID's going to happen. The market lost 50% in literally 3 months because of COVID. So that means if in literally 3 months, your account shrunk from 5 million to probably 2.5 million. You just lost half your life worth of work in 3 months.
Crazy.
Okay? Why don't you hedge and protect against the downside by having puts? So if the market goes down, you're making money adjacent to what your actual equity value is dropping. And sometimes you will come out ahead, which means you had more liquid with more cash with put options than just having actual equities. That's actually how Mark Zuckerberg, that's actually
Mark
how
Cuban, I think.
Mark Cuban became a billionaire.
Yeah.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Marvin Francois Show, your number one source for all things business, finance, and investing. And today, it's a very special day because our guests today are the owners and founders of one of the best stock options communities in the game today, that being Option Snipers University. They're less than a year removed from receiving the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club Award. And if you're wondering how they did it, it was simply by educating thousands all across the country on how to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month using the recession-proof skill of stock options trading. And today, they're here to teach you to do the same. I'm here with the one, the only, Mr. Josh Alufa and Mr. Wasi Akinko. Did I pronounce that right?
You got it right.
There you go. What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
What's good?
I love that intro.
Yeah, man,
listen, that's the best intro I've heard.
Listen, one thing about me, I'm gonna roll out the red carpet.
That part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll out the red carpet, man. How y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Fantastic, man. I'm very happy to have y'all. This is y'all's third time in New York City.
This is
Probably my fourth or
second.
fifth.
Second, fourth, fifth. Got you.
Yeah,
Feels a little bit different this time around.
A little bit.
Listen, we happy to have
I'm in a different space in life. So.
Got you. Well, I mean, I see that the Gucci is on, the chain is out. You understand? The shades is on. You look spectacular, brother. You look spectacular.
Nah, we just chilling.
I love it, man. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm a little hurt.
Okay.
I'm gonna start the conversation off with that. I'm a little hurt.
Okay.
I thought y'all was gonna come through and bless a brother with a kaftan. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? The akbara? What is it called?
Yes,
I thought y'all was gonna come through and bless me with the royal
this dude is
garb.
cultured, man. Don't let anybody lie to you.
I was like, what?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
I thought y'all was gonna come through with the royal head. You know what I'm saying?
We were supposed to. I mean, when we I think it was when we met, right? in Vegas. Yeah. We were supposed to. Get that going. But yeah, we
gonna work something out, brother. Because I'm saying you bring that right now. I'm honorary Nigerian. On Igbo side, though. On the Igbo side.
On the Igbo side.
Come on,
okay, we got to go. Get the car ready. We got to roll.
What does your name mean?
Yoruba. So my name means child born into wealth, or child that has come into wealth.
I got you. Your name means?
My name means father wake up.
Father wake up. Interesting. Yep. So my name is Marvin and means my parents named me Marvin. You understand me? But we here. We live and we direct. Listen, we gonna get right into it because I got two heavy hitters next to me. I know who you guys are. There's some people who are fortunate enough to be watching this episode who also know you are.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, let's get them a little bit familiar, right? Take a second, take a minute to introduce yourself and let the people know who you guys are, where you're from, what you do, but most importantly, how you got your start.
Sure thing. So I'll go ahead and start. My name is Wasi, and I'm one half of the founders here at Option Snipers University. So pretty much we got our start, I want to say like late 2019, early 2020. And basically the whole idea of what we were looking to put together was a foundation for people to learn how to trade stocks, right? That was probably first and foremost, because what we did, we started using penny stock. We were starting with trading penny stock. Okay. Right. And so after that, we decided to say, there's some other strategies potentially that we can learn from this. And that's what I'll let Josh, go ahead with. So you can go ahead and
if I could take you back, I think my first start, so I'm a nurse by trade, right? Okay. So I did an ER nursing. And I remember just sitting on my couch and I saw a book, Penny Stocks for Dummies. So that's how it started for me. After I read that book, I was kind of hooked, like, wow, people are making thousands of dollars in the stock market. So then from there, I linked up with Wasi. I did some long-term investing, but I was like, there are people making hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, how are they doing this? Another good book I read was The American... the Underground Hedge Fund Owner by Tim Ferriss. So that was a good one as well. So that kind of inspired the passion for me into trading. So then I hopped in the game, right? I went in, I started trading. I took some losses, definitely. But over time, I started to find a winning form. Like, okay, like this works. If I do this, I can make this much amount. And then, of course, I actually called Wasi. I was like, are you doing stocks? He was like, no, but, me and a couple of my friends, we want to do it as a group, like trade together as a group on Zoom. So we started doing that during the pandemic. Yeah. And it started with just close friends and family. We literally on purpose said, if I don't know your last name, you cannot be on this call. Yeah. Right? That's how close it had to be. But then somebody would invite somebody, and then somebody else would invite somebody. By the time we knew, there was like 300, 400 people on a Zoom call trading together.
It was really interesting because our intentions were really to keep it closed mouth.
Got you.
Right. Yeah. We actually wanted to be kind of closeted in what we were doing because, we felt that it was going to be a lot of responsibility for us to, broaden this situation. And obviously, there's only so many amount of hours you have in a day to be able to help everybody. You know what I'm saying? So with us trying to keep it close knit, it was more so the idea of us being our best selves with our friends and allowing us to have or invest the time that's needed for everybody to grow in this idea of, generational wealth building. Right. Gotcha. So to kind of piggy off what Josh was saying, after the word was spread, essentially the idea was, we then started figuring out, maybe we should create a business around this, right? Because at this point in time, we had already created a following. And I think that's probably one of the most powerful things you can do, like in entrepreneurship, is create a following or an audience. Right. Right. So when we did that, we pretty much started to try to figure out ways that we can monetize, what we were doing, right? So that everybody could profit from it, equally. Right. And so, that's when we started coming up with different course ideas, selling different, ebooks and things like that. And that, again, continued to pretty much spread our names across, a lot of different communities like wildfire.
And then from there, y'all have been flying. So how many members is the community at now to date?
So today we've trained about 3,300 students.
3,300 students?
Yes.
And counting.
Beautiful.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And I know, Josh, you said before you got into stock option trading, you were in the nursing space, correct?
Correct.
What were you doing before?
I was in IT before trading stocks.
Got you. So what was essentially, as the community grew, did you decide like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pivot from nursing and go all in on this? What happened there? Like in regards to
funny enough, I had already quit my job with nursing. I was already trading full time. Before the community kind of took off.
Gotcha.
So it was one of those things like, okay, Josh, you used to be a nurse. You're not a nurse anymore. Unless you're doing drugs, there has to be something. There has to be something that you're doing that's working, right? And trading was one of those things. So I used to teach people like, okay, this is how you trade. This is how you do it conservatively in the beginning. And I think, success leaves receipts, right? One of my friends like to say that. When you have so many receipts, it kind of draws people in because, okay, not only you're being successful, your students are being successful, they're going to tell other people, right? Now everybody's winning. So that's kind of how we grew pretty much organically. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I actually had that conversation with someone before. I was like, the best form of marketing is just giving people, showing people how to do something that's like, oh, it actually works, right? Because there's so many different things on the internet that tell us, okay, do this, do that. But if you show me how to turn $1 into $2, oh, you got my attention. And I got to tell 5, 10, 15 other people that, right? And I think that's essentially what happened with, Option Snipers University. Moreover, what's even crazier is as I was on my way here to do the interview, and I talked to you about this off camera, I told one of my homies, like, I'm getting ready to interview Option Snipers. He was like, tell them last year they made me $10,000 off this Peloton stock. I said, God bless them, right? That's just one of the 3,300 that you guys are mentoring now. So people can understand, like, you guys aren't new to this, you're true to this. Could you talk a little bit about, the success that some of your students have been able to have since joining your program?
Yeah, I actually remember that Peloton play, actually.
Okay.
It was funny because it was, Peloton was a pretty hot stock at the time. Okay. Because of the pandemic, right? So what our strategies were typically at the time were revolving around the idea of what was going on with COVID, right? So, pertaining to that season, that's when that happened. So when we called out, the Peloton play, based on the insight that we had, pertaining to the company itself, I mean, we had students make like you said, your friend made 10,000. We had some people make 30 grand, 50 grand.
How much?
And that's just one of them. You know what I'm saying? We had a couple other ones. There was the biggest one was Amazon though.
Okay.
People were able to take $300 to 30 grand in about, let's say, 2 weeks.
Okay.
300 to 30 grand.
Goodness. And this isn't stock options trading.
This isn't stock options trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. So let's break the game down then, because like I said, there's some people who are kind of familiar with the space, who knows how it works, and there are other individuals who don't know anything about stock options trading that are watching this episode and like, yo, you just told me I could turn 300 to how much? Okay, break down the game, right?
Yeah.
So let's walk them through it. First and foremost, what exactly is stock options trading?
Yeah. You want to take it?
Yeah, so stock options trading is pretty much a game of derivatives.
Okay.
What I like to call it is the layover plan of the wealthy. So if anybody's ever put anything on layaway, you know you need three things, okay? And I'm going to put you on the hot seat here. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. If you've ever put something on layaway or know anybody who's put anything on layaway, you need three things. Number one, of course, you need the item you want to put on layaway, right? What is the first thing they ask you for when you put something on layaway?
I ain't never put nothing on layaway, so I couldn't tell you.
No, but you know somebody just put something on.
I actually don't. No, funny enough.
Oh, this guy's too bougie over here. Okay, so I'll give you the answers to the test. Do you know what they need?
So you need the item. You need the item.
Okay.
You need your ID.
Okay, of course.
Right.
Just like you need your ID to open an account, but okay. But what's the first thing they ask you for? To say, hey, I want to put this couch on layaway. You have to put what down?
Deposit.
You have to put down a deposit.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
So with options, what you're pretty much doing is putting down a deposit of a stock.
Right.
Okay. So for example, Apple right now is about $180 per share. If you wanted to buy 100 shares, that's going to cost you what? About 18 grand, give or take. Not going to get too mathy here. With options, you can control all 18 grand worth of shares for $150. That's your deposit. Okay. But now, let's say Apple goes up $10. So your 18 grand is now worth 18,900, give or take, right? What happens with options? Because it's a derivative game, your $150 down payment will actually go to $500, right? Because in options, what is making the value of the options goes up is people's expectations that the stock will keep rising. And because expectations moves before price, your profits with options will move way further than your profit with your stock.
Yeah.
So what I'm pretty much doing is exchanging down payment with people, right? So people will ask, okay, why don't I just buy the 100? Well, if you have the money, you can do that.
Right.
So the people who are buying the contract from you, that's essentially what they're doing, right? They're buying all 100 shares, they're executing the contract, and they're selling it in the open market. But you can make money in between if you're a smaller player, right? But the attractiveness of it is the leverage. You can start with a little amount, and then you can multiply your money so much faster because you're making money on expectation. You've heard this quote, right? Buy the what? Sell the what?
Buy the dip, sell the...
Or buy low, sell
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high. There's another quote. It's like buy the expectation, sell the news.
Sell the news, right?
Right.
Okay.
Buy the expectation, sell the news.
Or buy the hype, sell the news.
Or buy the hype, sell the news.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's kind of what options is to a certain degree, as far as how fast the premiums move. So anybody can get into it, and the best thing is that you will only lose what you put in. So if the down payment was $150, your max loss exposure is at $150.
Gotcha.
But your profit potential is infinite.
Ooh, that's crazy. So essentially, I can buy thousands upon thousands of share of a stock by only putting like a fraction of that down. And even if I lose on the trade that I thought I was going to make, I don't lose the thousands upon thousands that I purchased. I only lose the amount of
The
money.
down payment you put down.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, but in the same vein, though, because I'm a little familiar with the stock option space, you don't only make money. You don't only make money when the stock, or when you anticipate for the stock to go up. You could also make money when the stock goes down too, right?
You can make money when it goes up. You can make money when it goes down. You can make money when it goes
sideways.
Talk a little bit more about that. Ooh, that's okay. This is getting good. Talk to me.
Okay. So there's different type of option strategies you can employ. See, options is a tool just like anything else. And the more you master the tool, the better you get at the game.
Let's go.
So I'll give you an example, right? And this is what the rich do. Let's say you wanted to buy shares of Apple, 100 shares of Apple. Most people will go and just buy the 100 shares of Apple, right? What the rich do, they sell options for those shares of Apple. When you sell options, the market pays you a premium, your down payment, so let's say $500, and you still get the shares of Apple you wanted to buy anyways. So now you're winning twice. Same thing when you sell. You just don't go to the open market to sell. What you sell contracts to sell the shares. Now you're getting a premium. So you're essentially doubling your money. You're making more money than you would have made doing the exact same thing you wanted to do. That's why the rich create win-win scenarios for themselves. So if you understand how options work, you can literally create a scenario. When the market goes up, you can make money. When it goes down, you can make money. When it goes sideways, you can make money. So you can even do something called a vertical. See, I geek out about this stuff, right? You can do a vertical where you can buy insurance high, buy it low, and then you can make the spread in between. See, if you just, all you have to do is that if you pick a direction you think the market's going to go, there's an option strategy for that you can pretty much, use to make money.
Got you. Would you say that's the biggest differentiating factor between like trading stock options versus like long-term investing, in a sense where it's like, with long-term investing, you only realize gains, essentially when you sell? Right?
Exactly.
But with stock options, it's like, it almost sounds like you can make money either which way it goes. You just got to understand the game going into it, and you're ready to rock.
Correct.
Exactly. And the funny part about me is like, you've heard insurance, right?
Of course.
Okay, what actually is insurance?
It's just protection in the event that something happens.
Okay, great. Let's use life insurance, for example. What is life insurance?
Life insurance is essentially me making a monthly payment, and in the event that if I was to unexpectedly die, my family's taken care of.
Okay, so really it's income replacement insurance. Because when you die, they don't give you a new life.
Right.
So they're not insuring your life, they're insuring your income.
Come on now. Ooh,
right?
Okay.
So that's a different thing. So if you understand that life insurance is really income replacement insurance, you need to position your finances in a way where you're always protecting your downside. So the simplest thing anybody can do here, if you own a 401k, and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor.
Go ahead and get that out.
Let's say that you're 59, 60, you're close to retirement age. You have $5 million in retirement cash. You're feeling happy about yourself.
Right.
What you don't know is that in a year from now, COVID's going to happen. The market lost 50% in literally 3 months because of COVID. So that means if in literally 3 months, your account shrunk from 5 million to probably 2.5 million. You just lost half your life worth of work in 3 months.
Crazy.
Okay? Why don't you hedge and protect against the downside by having puts? So if the market goes down, you're making money adjacent to what your actual equity value is dropping. And sometimes you will come out ahead, which means you had more liquid with more cash with put options than just having actual equities. That's actually how Mark Cuban, I think. Mark Cuban became a billionaire.
Yeah.
Right? So when he sold broadcast.net, he got shares of Yahoo. Yahoo crashed, but he was buying put options on Yahoo the whole time. And when Yahoo crashed, he was able to cash out his money that way through options.
And he was rocking.
He made his money. Warren Buffett in 2020 made $7.1 billion in income with options trading. He's one of the biggest options traders in America, but you would never hear him talk about it.
Right.
He just believes people don't understand it. I just believe people can be educated, right? So just educate yourself, and just simple measures. An ounce of protection is better than, a gram of what they say, a care. An ounce of prevention is better than an ounce of prevention is better than a gram of a care.
Right.
You can prevent your finances from being taken advantage of by just doing simple things, by having hedging, by having put options on the S&P 500.
Are you trying to leverage your personal credit to get business credit or business loans, but keep getting denied because your personal credit isn't where it needs to be? Takeoff Financial can help you restore your personal credit so that you can leverage it towards getting the funding that your business needs. So click the link above or below this video so that you can schedule a free consultation and see how we can simplify your finances and your life. So essentially, this is a tool that the wealthy are still, like you said, are still using to this day. I didn't know that Warren Buffett made X amount, you understand, from trading stock options. I rarely ever hear stuff like that talked about. But if this is a tool that they have access to, that you have access to, I have access to, Josh has access to, and beyond, let's break it down for the people. Let's break down the game, right? If I'm listening to this, what's the first step if I wanted to get started in the stock option space that I need to take?
I think the first thing you would have to do is create a brokerage account.
Okay, talk a little bit about that.
So what a brokerage account is, it's an account that you would be able to put money into where you would be able to trade your money, right? So we recommend using the brokerage TD Ameritrade.
Okay.
Right. So TD Ameritrade has a great platform where you can trade using the Thinkorswim application. It's a great app. on the desktop or the mobile versions of the app. So that would be the first step, right? Putting money into the account, and then simply there's an idea that we call paper trading, right? And what paper trading is once you do get the knowledge and the awareness of options trading, you'll be able to utilize fake money, or what we call paper money, using that platform, so that you can test out the different strategies that we employ at Option Snipers University, so that when you do have the confidence in order to get in the market, there's at least the comfort level you have with actually using the platform and getting an I guess you could say a glimpse as far as what it looks like to actually trade real money, right? Without actually having trading.
Gotcha.
So those would be the first few steps, I would say.
How long should so paper trading is essentially like practice, right? Like that's us kind of getting our feet wet before we dive in with actual money.
Cash,
How long should I be paper trading before I even think about getting in the space, or is it all subjective?
I think usually it's subjective, but I'll let Josh answer that.
It's subjective. So it really depends on your appetite for speed and risk. But I'll say you want to just start out like with a month, right?
Gotcha.
A month of paper trading is a good start. I'm somebody who believes that you can't fully grasp trading unless you're live trading, because a lot of trading is emotional management, right? Because a lot of it is done up here with your eyes and your mind, which is amazing. So you're not going to get that true emotional management if you're paper trading and you don't have real money up. But what you can do, though, is pick the cheapest contract. So, for example, one thing I trade a lot is the S&P 500, right? Which is the top 500 stocks companies in the United States in one ETF. You can actually buy a contract for that as little as $1.
Okay.
Right? And even though your profit, let's say you made profit of 10%, so you went from making $1 to $1.10. Your profit is going to be great, but what you're looking for is a consistency, how you're thinking, how you deal with emotion. Because believe it or not, you would think that the less money you risk when trading, the more in control you are. But your emotions are your emotions, period. So if you're somebody who's usually out of control emotionally, it's going to show up even if you're trading with a dollar. So it's about learning that emotional management first, and then you can grow from there once you feel comfortable.
I think what most new traders would need to have the understanding of when jumping into options trading is that this is going to be something that's going to be hyper profitable, but it's also going to be something where you have to have hyper intentionality and is I guess you could say an intention behind what you're doing, right? Because the whole idea with options trading is not only are you challenging yourself, mentally with strategy, but also emotionally, as Josh was talking about, regarding risk management and different things like that, right? And then we're also talking about discipline, right? So we're actually talking about becoming a new person.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Like there's things that you're gonna have to even change about yourself in order to maintain success in the markets. Because what it actually does is becoming an option trader actually exposes who you are as an individual.
Right.
If you're greedy in real life, when you get in the markets, you're still gonna be greedy, right? So you're gonna have to figure out how you can manage those the emotions behind that and how you can change specific mindsets pertaining to it. See, a lot of people think that options trading is just, ABC, right? But this is where the idea of getting education is very important regarding this, because if you jump into it without the proper education, you might not fare too well, right?
Gotcha.
So I would say that would be the other thing really pertaining to a newer trader is really to seek mentorship, right? Because, you can get all the strategy in the world, but what a mentor would allow you to do is give you real-time information that can transform your trading journey.
No, so you said something key, and I had to take off my glasses because you said
I saw this man
that,
take his
right?
glasses. You about to jump bar. Go ahead, Josh.
Take off the glasses. Okay, you said something, right? You mentioned the word greed. Now, there's not hard statistics to measure this, but I'll tell you, greed has cost more money lost in trading than anything else.
Yeah.
I've had so many students. I told you we've trained up to 3,300 students. A lot of times what's happening is not that they don't have the right strategy. It's not that they're not doing the right things, but because of their greed, they're staying in the market longer than they're supposed to be. I'll give the example. Somebody reached out to me on Facebook, right? They're like, Josh, I've lost $50,000 trading options.
$50,000.
I said, I already know what you're doing. You're over trading. You're being greedy. So we hopped on a Zoom call. I spoke with him for 2 hours, right? And the last 2 weeks, he's been consistently making anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a day, consistently, right? Just because I told him he's trying to make $15K in a day every day. I'm like, no. First of all, limit your amount of trades.
That's
get
not
consistent.
Right.
Then you can scale. Now he's been the happiest he's ever been in his trading career.
Gotcha.
Do not let greed, and I'm talking to you guys on the camera, do not let greed control your trading. Value consistency over greed, right? Because consistency is something you can count on. And then when you have consistency, you can actually call it a skill, right? Without that consistency, it's not a skill. It's a hobby. So
Yeah.
My question is, do you think figuring out that emotional aspect of trading is kind of like a rite of passage for most traders? Like
Absolutely.
Because I remember I sat in with a good friend of mine. His name is JT. Shouts to my guy who's also from Carolina as well.
Yeah. I was actually just I actually just spoke to JT a couple
do you
days
really?
ago.
Oh, you know, it's a small world. So what he was
Yeah.
telling me was like how his biggest loss came right after his biggest win.
Yeah.
Because he was like his biggest win, he had made 40K in a day. And
Yeah.
literally the day after, he lost 20K.
Yeah.
Because in his mind, he's like, oh, I'm the greatest trader ever. I could do
Yeah.
this and this. So that emotional aspect of it, you know, when you're getting to that space, you're going to go through
Yes.
it. So that was something that you guys went through as well.
of course.
You have to.
Of course.
What was the biggest L that you took in trading? If you feel comfortable talking about it, just so people could really understand, like it's not all what we see on Instagram of like 100K days, and there's really a process to this.
Yeah. My day wasn't too much far from JT.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think the largest I lost was, I want to say, 30 grand in a day.
30 grand. Gotcha.
Yeah. And you know, this was after a month of, I want to say maybe 100 grand in profits.
Crazy.
Right. So still ending green is usually the idea pertaining to being in the markets. But what people need to understand regarding like big losses is that, you know, it's supposed to teach you that there's something wrong in what you're doing.
Right.
So that you can continue to pinpoint how you can change that in order for you not to incur those types of days, right? And I think one of the biggest things that people don't realize pertaining to big wins as well is you still have to be just as vigilant. That's what you don't understand. Like if you have a big day, if you have a big day, right, and now you get all serious potentially, like, all right, I got to buckle down now, I got to get, but at the same time, having a big win can be just as detrimental if you don't self-correct yourself in the moment, because potentially what had potentially happened to Jason, and I hadn't spoken to him about this just yet, but usually what happens on days where you win big is you don't believe that the money is actually yours.
Okay.
So usually and this is where coaching comes into, and this is a strategy I'll give to your viewers pertaining to winning big. Take some time away from the market and use that money to do something with it. Like give it a purpose, right? Because what would happen is if you don't do that, the money doesn't seem real. So then what you end up doing is you end up over leveraging and over risking money that you don't believe is yours. That's how you end up giving it right back into the markets.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the idea is to make it tangible. You know, one of the tips I used to do when I first started trading is I would literally take a $5 bill and paste it on and put it tape it to my desk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what I was trying to teach myself was, while these numbers are moving on this computer screen, this is real money. You know what I'm saying? Because for what it's worth, like, being a great trader, sometimes when you're in the zone, trading can seem like a game, like a simulation. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily a like money being like real hard earned cash being either won or lost, right? So, you know, making the money tangible is what will allow you to continue to stay sane and sober about what money is to you, right? Or what money can do for you, you know? So, that's what I'll say pertaining to that.
Got you. To take it a step further, and I'm very happy that we touched on that because, like I said, especially in this information age that we're living in, I'm pretty sure there are people watching this who see other people in the trading space who are only posting their wins, right? But there is a dark side to this that we also want to make people aware of to make sure that they're not putting themselves in position to where you are losing big money like that, whether it's 30,000, 40,000. I'm not even trying to lose $500.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
So very, very important. Circling back to what you had said earlier in terms of like people who are trying to dive into the space, right? You had talked about, okay, we have to secure the brokerage account, right? We got to get some paper trading on our belt to get things rocking and rolling. My next question is, are there different types of traders or trading? Like, do I have to sit in front of a computer? Because you said, Warren Buffett had made X amount of dollars in 2020. I'm sure Warren Buffett, however old he is not sitting in front of a computer all day, every day trading. What are the different types of trading or traders that exist within the stock option space?
So, I can speak to, I guess we could kind of, because we're different traders in and of ourselves.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, so I could kind of talk about the type of trader that I am. So, I'm very, I'm not risk averse.
Gotcha.
Right, so like I'm willing to risk a lot of money when I'm trading.
Gotcha.
And I'm also a scalper or a day trader, and what that means is, when you think about scalping, it's like kind of cutting things down like one at a time, essentially. So when you're scalping as a trader, you're in a trade you're buying and selling within minutes, right? We're talking maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? I try to spend no more than an hour in the markets a day, right? So I might only have maybe 1 or 2 trades that would span 30 minutes, right? But because I'm leveraging more capital, there's less time I need to, I guess, kind of stay in limbo with pertaining to what my plays are, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the type of trader that I am. So I would be considered more of an aggressive trader, and pertaining to my trading style, and then the strategy would be more so, like I said, a scalper or a day trader.
Gotcha. And Josh, what kind of trader are you?
So I'm also a scalper. So if we just want to differentiate the type of trader, so there's kind of 3 or 4 categories.
Let's do it.
We have the scalper, which are usually in a trade from 0 to 10 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes is usually the max.
Gotcha.
Then you have the day trader. That means you're in the market maybe for the whole day.
Gotcha.
So anywhere from 20 minutes to about 8 hours, which is a day.
Got you.
Then you have the swing trader, which is anything over a day. Okay, so you have short-term swing traders, people who swing for 3 to 5 days, 1 to 5 days. Then you have long-term people who hold a position for months.
Got you.
So depending on the lifestyle, so for example, if you work your 9 to 5, for example, you can't watch the computer all day. You might be a swinger. I started out as a swinger. I used to work as a nurse. That's how I started trading, right? Then I moved to a day trader because now I'm making that money in minutes and I can control what's happening in any given minute. So as a day trader, one thing you have to be cognizant of is how you handle risk, like he said. I come from a nursing background, and everything we do is avoid risk at all costs.
Right.
Because if you do something potentially risky, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Right? If you come from an industry where that's not the case, recognize that and then adjust your trading based on that. But as a day trader, you're in for a few minutes. You make sure you're recognizing the trend, right? And then there's different strategies that we teach. But one strategy is trend trading, right?
Okay.
So you might recognize the trend, and your hope is that trend will continue. The longer a trend lasts, the more likelihood it's going to continue, right? So if you notice a trend that's pretty popular, some people might say, okay, this is a trend that's been happening every week. For example, what's your favorite food?
Anything like pasta based.
Pasta based, my man, okay? So how often a week do you eat pasta?
Like once a week, maybe once every other week. Not too often.
Okay, perfect. So let's just say you eat pasta twice a month.
Let's do it.
Okay. So if I know the days you eat pasta, and if I know the days you eat pasta, I know your favorite pasta restaurant.
Okay.
If I wanted to run into you,
got you.
All I have to do is do what?
Got to follow the trend of what days I'm going to get pasta, what restaurant I'm going to, the time of day I'm going. All
exactly. And eventually I'm going to run into you, right?
Yeah.
That's what trading is. So if you're a trend trader, you're noticing a trend. If you execute trades when you see that trend happen, the likelihood you're going to make money increases significantly. So if you have a 70 to 80% chance that you're going to eat pasta on a Tuesday at Papa Velo's, I'm just making that up, okay? 80% chance I'm going to catch you at Papa Velo's, right? So if you're trading that, all you have to do is recognize the trend and execute. And I always say something about trading, right?
Talk to me.
You get paid for your opportunity, not your time. So when you notice the trend, and it's time to execute, you have to execute or you're going to miss that opportunity for that given time. If I do that over a long period of time, I'm going to make money consistently.
Right.
But here's the thing: there's nothing that's going to be ever 100%.
Fact.
So if I'm 70% right and I have a 30% lose ratio, and I manage my risk, I'm going to end up a winner overall. So that's a trend trader, right? And then there's also a bounce trader. A bounce trader, how they trade is they see that, okay, the market's been going up for a particular amount of time or down, and they feel at a certain point it's going to reverse or it's going to bounce, okay? So what they do is they look for that bounce, they catch the bounce up, and then they catch the ride up or down, right? Based on risk to reward, right? Then there's a continuation trader. If a car is going 100 miles per hour, even if they hit the brakes, it's going to take them a long amount of time to slow down, right? So the same thing when you're trading on momentum or a continuation trader, if you see a trade going a certain way really fast, you hop in on that trend, you catch a little piece of the move, and then you make money.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, this is getting good because now, like you said, this is a ridiculous tool, right? That can make you a lot of money, but at the same time, it's not like gambling, right? Like you guys said, there is strategy to this. We just have to make ourselves familiar with what that strategy is so that we're smart about how we're approaching these trades. We're not emotional about how we're going about these trades.
Right.
I want to talk a little bit more about that. What kind of resources or research or studying, like you just finished talking about like trends. What are some of the different things that we can do as people that are looking to get into trading, right? To put ourselves in the best position possible to win as many trades as we possibly can.
So the first thing you're going to want to do,
talk to me,
is subscribe to Option Snipers University YouTube.
Let's do it.
That's the very first thing you want to do. Subscribe to Option Snipers University. Options plural, snipers also plural, university, right? And obviously that's funny that I'm plugging that in, but the reason as to why is because we put in so many hours into the idea of how we can make somebody go from literally knowing nothing about the stock market into becoming an advanced trader, right? So on our channel, we have a lot of videos regarding, basic setups. Like I said, creating the, I guess you could say the brokerage account. Right?
Got you.
And then, a lot of other resources are out there on our YouTube channel. So, however, outside of our YouTube channel, I would say the Thinkorswim application has an education section that has different ideas on how you can use their individual platform. So essentially you would use our strategies, then have the education with how to use the platform, and then combine those things together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those are some of the resources I would say to start at. Would you say anything else?
Yeah, so like you said, it's all about education, right? I would say find somebody who's done what you want to do and then follow them, right? So obviously we're traders. We have a education that we provide for people. But regardless of how you get education, just make sure you vet them out completely. Right. I always say success leaves receipts, so find as many receipts as possible and then take action, right? Get in the game. That's the most important thing. Right. If you get in the game and don't quit, you're eventually going to learn how to do it. Now, we provide a shortcut because, you don't have to make the same mistakes we make. But guess what? We learned it the hard way. We actually went through the trial and error process. I mean, I remember the dumbest thing we ever did as far as a trade. I remember we got into a trade on Apple. We were up like 12, 15 grand. Okay, we don't need to use the bathroom. We said, we're up 12, 15 grand. Use the bathroom 2 minutes. I'll probably be more up. Come back from the bathroom, negative 17 grand.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
Crazy.
So, moral of the story, don't use the bathroom while trading. Okay?
Hey, listen, hold it in. Hold it in.
Like, seriously, hold it in.
Listen.
Now we need to be like, not till I'm done. Right. No. So just make sure that you're educated and then you're protecting yourself from downside.
Got you.
I think there's a lot you can learn from spending literally like work hours, but in front of your computer, watching the stock market.
Gotcha.
We were on Zoom literally from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day for over a year, dissecting the markets, trading together, talking about things, coming up with different strategies. So that's the accumulation. Our YouTube channel is an accumulation of that information. So that would be a great place to start as far as resources.
Got you. I want to do a little bit of a pivot here because with options, obviously you're able to make a lot of money, right? And able to do a lot of great things with it. But for you guys, you've essentially planted your flag in the space. You've established yourselves as, great traders and built a community of other individuals you taught to do it as well. Yeah. With all the success that you're having, I'm curious to know, like, is options trading for the both of you like the end all be all, or is it kind of like a foundation that you're using to invest and get into other fields and create other options, right, for yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah, we all the time, we always say that options gives you options.
Okay.
I would say, and this would be my advice for anybody really, a 9-to-5er, an entrepreneur that's looking to get started with their business. What we see and what we use options trading for is essentially a cash injection tool into whatever stream of income we're looking to build.
Gotcha.
Right? So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to scale to the next level, right? If you're looking for advertising dollars, if you're looking for new equipment, things like that, options trading can be a great tool for you to have a quick injection of cash flow into your business that will allow you to then multiply your revenue, right? Likewise for a 9-to-5er, right? Because a lot of times we have, because I work nights, like I said, I worked in IT, and I think a lot of the times when working 9 to 5, there's I guess you could say like an added strife you feel typically regarding your work, your career, because deep down inside that you're supposed to be making way more money than you're potentially making at the time. And I think usually what ends up happening is there's a stress that's put on you mentally, I feel, because what you're essentially doing every day is you're essentially like rejecting yourself. And what I mean by that is like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying, I'm going to go and do something that I potentially do not enjoy doing. And subjecting yourself to that for however many hours you're doing it, right? Like that does a lot to your mental. Fact. And I think that's something that we don't really put into consideration now. With that being said, obviously we need to have income, right? So we need to work a job anyway.
Right.
But that's more so to say options trading would then allow you to put less stress on the expectations of your 9 to 5. Why? Because you're taking potentially a portion of that amount, you're putting that into the market, making potential gains on that money. And then the things that you really enjoy doing, you can then use your options money to be able to do that or fund whatever goals and dreams that you have.
Gotcha.
That way, you can simply see your 9 to 5 more so as your side gig.
Gotcha.
Because then when you flip your perspective on those things, it then allows you to then manage the situation much better. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can imagine, like most 9 to 5ers are good at their job, right? So they'd still prefer to do that because they know they can make money with that job. But if you were to flip your expectation of what you're potentially doing at that time, then you'll have a better time, with your lifestyle. I think that's just the advice I would give pertaining to that. But like I said, options gives you options. Josh could talk a little bit more about, the different investments and things that we've been able to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I always believe one income is too close to none. You heard that quote before, right? And I just like building businesses and buying assets, honestly. So ATMs, real estate. So I love real estate. My dad was a flipper. So real estate is something that I'm very intimate and I know a lot about. So I'm buying real estate. I'm invested in other companies, other projects, things of that nature. So just put your money to work, especially as an options trader where you're making that consistent profit. Like I always advise students, take 50% of your profits, put it into an account.
Yeah.
Right? 50% of that 50%, blow it. Go have fun. Right? Make it real. The other 50% needs to go straight into investments. Like start investing and start creating residual income for yourself. Right? And learn about how you can put money to work in a way where it creates an avenue where if you decide to live on the beach for 6 months, you can do that.
I came over here to drop gems, ladies and gentlemen. They came over here to drop gems. I love it. I love a lot of the value that you guys provided thus far in the episode, and really just kind of, even talking about how like options has given you options. To take it a step further as well, right? Obviously, you guys have this community that you've built with Options Snipers University. How many years are we sitting on now?
We're almost at 4 years now.
Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. Another question I have, because for me, I'm personally curious about this. Working as closely as you guys do with each other, being in a business partnership myself, it's tough, right? We're working side by side with someone and kind of maintaining that goal, the vision, the values, things like that you're working towards. How has navigating that journey been for the both of you two, right? Because it's been a couple years now. I'm sure that you guys don't wake up every single day and, hey man, I love you to death and I love you too. I'm pretty sure y'all but
I actually never wake up like that, honestly.
You just wake up like, I want to fight Josh today. You understand? God, talk a little bit about the dynamics of just this overall partnership and just keeping that long-term vision of everything that you guys are trying to do with Option Snipers.
Yeah, I think one thing is key, like, and the Bible says, two can't walk together except they agree. And I think the whole idea behind partnership is like both people or however many individuals have to have a shared vision. And I would take it a step further and say they also have to share the same work ethic.
Facts.
I think not having the same work ethic is probably the number one pitfall of any partnership, I would say. And so I think the dynamic that we have is one that we're covering each other's weaknesses. Where I'm strong, I know that I have to show up, where he may have that weakness and vice versa, right? I mean, I've actually gone as far as actually like kind of writing out these things, like what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and actually seeing them on paper have, I think, allowed me personally to show up the best that I can regarding what we do, because essentially if both people are working the best that they could and have their own ambitious desires pertaining to a situation, that's potentially how you'll end up having success.
Gotcha.
Right? So that's what I would say pertains to that.
Signing up with Takeoff Financial was really the best choice for me. It allowed me to take control of my life. I know that some people may think that that's really dramatic, but it's not. I feel like credit is really important, and signing up with them allowed me to understand that. I just want to say thank you, because I think that you guys have definitely allowed me to feel comfortable. You allowed me to feel liberated. You allowed me to feel that it's okay. It's okay not to have great credit, but it's not okay to stay in that situation. So thank you guys for embracing me and allowing me to have a new life.
Head over to our website at takeofffinancial.com and let's get your credit score to the moon.
And also just talking about just a long-term vision. What is the overall, because obviously you got this community of 3,300.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying to you? What's the long-term vision for Option Snipers as a whole? Like, where do you guys see this thing going? We're just looking to continue to bring more people in, or is there another level that we're trying to take this to?
Yeah, definitely another level. You want to talk about that,
So
Josh?
for me, I have this idea.
Talk to me.
That in 10 to 15 years, 50% of at least America will either be traders or not a trader.
Correct.
So if that's going to be a fact, there needs to be a platform that trains them, educates them, motivates them, inspires them, and gives them a sense of community.
Right.
So if we just keep doing what we're doing, showing up in the marketplace, providing value, we're just going to grow just because the market is going to grow.
Right.
Anyways, so for me, that's the long-term vision. We becoming that hub where we're teaching people how to make money through the market and other investments, of course, and then using that to fund their lifestyle and different things that they can do that they don't have to depend only on their 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Number two, I always believe that the easiest way to make money is with money. Right? Because it's the raw material itself, right? So if that's the case, then teaching people how money works on a larger scale. So they're showing up to me because they want to learn options, but they leave learning much more about how money works. So personal finance, things of that nature as well.
Got you. Okay, beautiful. Listen, I know we got to get you guys out of here. I know time is money. I don't want to waste too much of y'all, but I also know that from what I understand, you have a challenge coming up as well. Could we talk a little bit about that for the people that have watched this episode and are like, man, I need more game. I want to learn how to get into the space. Talk a little bit about this challenge that you have coming up and how different individuals can receive value from that.
Yeah, we actually have a challenge coming up in a few weeks. And essentially what we do on the challenge is we give new people that have no idea about Option Snipers or our university, we give them an opportunity to get an in-depth look into what our mentorship looks like, right? So we actually spend 5 days where we're going to be teaching live on Zoom for just an hour a day. It's only an hour commitment. And essentially what happens throughout those 5 days is we give as much material as we can potentially give so that the students that we would be teaching at that time have the understanding of how they can start and essentially, what it looks like to continue their trading journey.
Got you.
Yeah.
5 days, 1 hour a day.
5 days, 1 hour a day.
What's the dates? What's the dates on this?
The dates vary. The dates vary from month to month. Obviously, for the people viewing this right now, it would vary based on the date, but it's typically the second month. The second week of every month.
Got you. Okay, got you. And we're gonna have a link for that in the description below.
We're gonna have a link for that in the description below. Yeah, absolutely, Josh.
So before I let you go,
let's do it.
Do you mind if I maybe address something you said?
The floor is yours.
Okay. So you said something that was interesting. You said time is money.
Talk to me.
I heard that too.
Okay. Time is not money, actually.
Okay.
I knew he was gonna correct you on that. I was gonna let it slide.
I can't let it slide.
When I heard it, I was like, I know he's gonna say something about that.
Time and money actually have an inverse relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me explain what I mean. If I offered you $5 million,
Talk to me.
but you have to kill yourself tomorrow, would you take that deal?
Of course not.
No, because you believe that your potential to make more money tomorrow is greater than the money you make today.
Facts.
It's something in math that's called time value of money.
Right.
Right.
Not only that, right? If you had someone that was close to you, right, that was terminally ill, and they needed to be alive, obviously, right? So then, for them to stay alive, they would have to empty out their entire account, right? Obviously, we're not saying that this is you, but what would that person do at that point in time?
They would empty out their entire account.
Empty out their account, right? Course. So that's kind of the whole idea.
Gotcha.
Time.
Yeah,
So
time is definitely not money. And let me continue the explanation. And
Let's do it.
We got to go.
Let's go.
Okay. The reason people believe time is money is because they're trading their time to get money. That doesn't make it the same. For example, that's like saying if you go and pay $1, you get a slice of pizza. That's like saying pizza is $1. It's not the same. No, what you need to understand is that there's many things you can do to make money. And actually, the more time you use to make money, the less money you have. But the more money you use to make money, the more time you have. Yeah. Should I say that again?
Say it again, but say it slow.
Okay. The more time you use to make money, the less money you have. The more money you use to make money, the more time you have.
Gotcha.
So as it relates to money, the purpose of time is to look for opportunities to multiply your money.
Right.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, just break that down. Right?
I love it. I couldn't think of a better way to close out the episode. Also, let the people know, of course, where they can find you guys as well.
Yeah,
on all social platforms.
Yeah, all social. So I'm on TikTok at wasi.akin. Option Snipers. We're Option Snipers University everywhere. Specifically on YouTube, Option Snipers University. Like I said, options capital S, snipers also plural S.
There you go.
Also, snipers plural as well. University, and then Josh, you can plug yourself.
Yeah, Josh Cashflow, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. What's that new one? Threads.
Yeah, Threads. You want to plug the Threads too?
Yeah, at Josh Cash. It's all at Josh Cashflow. Josh spelled like Josh. Cash spelled like cash. Flow spelled like flow. You gotta keep that cash flow.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, I appreciate y'all time. And listen, if you haven't done it already, what are you doing? Take a second, take a minute, take an hour out of your day right here, right now to just go ahead and show this episode some love. And make sure you tune into the challenge as well, where you can learn any and everything pertaining to all things about stock options trading. But as always, bring it over to this camera. I'm your host with the most, Marvin Francois. My guy Wasi Akin, Josh, Alufa. There you go. Y'all have been good. We've been great. This has been amazing. And as always, thank you all and God bless.
Thanks for having us.
Peace.